Okay, so I'm in South Texas, George West area. It's a great property. The fence line, the neighbors over to my left. It's a family land, so it's like the brother or something that's the owner. But anyway, so I see these doe. There's lots of doe. The first day I hunted out of a ground blind with my bow, and there was a lot of deer. They were real skittish. The wind was blowing where it was blowing away from them, so they shouldn't have been able to smell me, but who knows. But they never would really settle down. They'd eat corn, but constantly just acting silly and nervous. And that happened the first afternoon and the morning. And so I decided to scrap that, grab the rifle, climb up in this blind, and let it go from there. So this is the afternoon of the second hunt. And there's a 6-point with no brow tines. What we're watching right here is an 8-point with little 1-inch brow tines. Good little young deer. Didn't see as many doe this afternoon as I had the previous afternoon and morning. But there's a doe with her 2 yearlings, her little fawns, and then that bug just kind of stays with them. They do a loop around that little track you saw. Now here's a huge 8-point that jumped right the fence right in front of me, like 15 yards away, and a 10.2 that you see running by. I had a hard time not pulling the trigger on them. They're gorgeous deer. I had them scoring about 130, maybe 135, but I felt definitely 130. Either way, I was trying to go for a 140, 150 inch buck down here in South Texas that produces some great deer. This is all low fence property, so I never know what's going to happen. There's no cameras out, so it's all a guessing game. We don't have inventory what's around. So I decided to roll the dice and pass these up and wait for something bigger. The next morning, right at dark, I see this deer, and I'm watching for a while, and I feel like the body looks like a buck, but I couldn't really see the antlers. It was that dark out. When I start finally seeing some antlers, I try and grunt a little bit to see if I could pull him closer to me and get a little bit closer shot or better look at him, but he just stares at me and won't come in closer. Then something spooks him and he runs off a little bit. I'm like, ooh, this is going to be a bigger deer. Heck yeah. And it ends up being a huge, big old hog. And so the hog pushed him away from me, unfortunately, instead of to me. And so I still couldn't get a great look at him. As you can see, this is the best I could get. It was enough light to actually get him on camera. I tried grunting. That, still didn't work. I was hoping he would loop around this track like the other deer had done. And that's what I was kind of counting on, and I'd get a better look at him. But he ends up going further up, and then he hops across the fence. And then I thought he would come back to me on my side and hop over and go to the feeder, but I never saw him again. There he is, going out of my life.